data governance critical capabilities and everything that's involved there. It's a hefty topic, like I said, and it concerns every organization out there that deals with data. Which organization does not deal with data these days? We're all into data governance in one way or another. Right, let's get cracking at it. What we're looking at here is the full data governance overview, the full overview of the critical capabilities. If you go to the link down below, they're in the show notes. You know the drill by now. The show notes and the link here, store.theotherservice.com/data governance critical capabilities. That's where you can find all the critical capabilities and you can play around with them. And you can sort, you can find, you can actually see what you're looking at here. What I've done with those critical capabilities, exported them and imported them in what you're looking at, Neo4j it's called. It's for knowledge graphs and visualization. So it's exactly the same data as in the Kanban, but it's visualized in a different way. So it makes it more appealing to you now you're watching this. All right, let's have a look at what we've got here. What we've got here is the critical capabilities. Those are the big blue balls. The big blue balls are the critical capabilities, the things that you need to be doing for data governance to be successful in an organization. Yeah, blue balls here, these blue balls there, these blue balls. And we've prioritized them. The prioritization of the critical capabilities is based on in-house developed artificial intelligence, which looks at proximity, density, all those beautiful things in natural language processing and how things are aligned to each other and how they are weighted against each other. Then out it pops the most important critical capabilities. They come up and they form the basis for what you need to do for data governance. And I'll show you the top 10 critical capabilities out of these later on as well. But if you go to the Kanban, you can easily find them there as well. So those are the critical capabilities. Each and every critical capability has a question attached to it. And the questions are the ping balls. The ping balls are the questions that you need to be asking in your organization to make sure that you've got that process in place, that activity in place, and to ensure that everybody understands what they're doing in your organization, what their roles and responsibilities are in relationship to the critical capability. I'm zooming in a bit so you get a bit of an overview of what's going on here. The other colors that we're seeing here are, for instance, here, the orange color. And the orange colors, they are the job roles that are aligned to the critical capability. So who is responsible for each of the activities and who should you be asking if that activity is in place in your organization and how it's aligned to overall objectives. These roles are actual job roles. They come from real organizations out there. These are actual job roles that we're using that are responsible for data governance in organizations. And I'll show you the roles later on as well. What we also see here are red balls. And the red balls, they are the top 48 most important questions to ask when you're dealing with data governance. I'll show you those later on as well. They come out of the daily email that we send out through LinkedIn on our subscriber list there, which is over 4,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, go there, subscribe. It's called Audit This, I believe. It's got something with audit, but you can find it if you look me up. You can find the list, and I'll send out a daily email there where these questions are in there and they're answered there as well in the daily email. The other things that you see here are the little green balls here. See those little niggly green balls in there? The green balls, they are the prioritization numbers. So I explained to you before that the use cases, the big blue balls, they're all organized based on a priority. That's the priority number. There's over 2,000 critical capabilities in this Kanban for data governance, and they're prioritized based on the AI that we have in place. And that's the number that's been given. So the higher the number, the higher the priority is. The other ones that you're seeing is here, tiny blue balls, data profiling. I'll zoom in a bit, maybe you can see it then. There, there's another one here, little blue ball. Let's pull it up, see what it is, and drag it out. Yeah, service quality, that's that one. And this one is It's all a bit slow now because the screen's filled up. But little blue balls, they actually shared services marketing, DevOps, IoT. Little blue balls are actually the topics that are related to data governance. You touch upon data governance. So if you deal with these topics, for instance, IoT, DevOps, IoT, you definitely have to deal with data governance. That's what that does. How are all these topics related? All right. Now let's start off with the priority questions, or the big red balls. The red balls. What are the most important things that, let's pull them up, that are people asking of data governance that you need to make sure that you have in place in your organization? So these are the 48 most important questions to ask in your organization to make sure that you have a quality data governance process in place and all the activities are in place. Let's just pick up one or two here. Which one shall we do here? Which data management practices can best support your organization's data governance policies? Now, if I want to know how to do that, support quality and regulatory teams to drive data compliance. So have teams in place for data compliance. So this is a critical capability that we see here, the big blue ball. And if I double click on it, it'll open up. It's a should have, it's a high priority, related to data, and it's related to enterprise data governance. This is the keyword. I haven't mentioned that yet. We have a word cloud built in here as well, which is based on the most important keywords in each and every critical capability. And this is the data keyword that came out of that one. Enterprise data governance, this is related to. Then, if I want to make sure that this is in place, then I can also ask this question: what kinds of IT can help support teams when team members work at different locations? And I want to be asking that question to these people. Before, there are job roles in here. These are the job roles: the Director of Enterprise Data Governance, Data Governance Officer, Manager Site Reliability Engineer, Enterprise Data Governance Lead. So what I have here is I have a question, most important question, this one: which data management practices can best support your organization's data governance policies? I'm looking for this answer in my organization to make sure that we have that in place. Support quality and regulatory teams to drive data compliance. Another question that I can ask to make sure that that's in place is this one: what kinds of IT can help support teams when team members work at different locations? And I'll be asking that question to all these people to make sure that they have an answer to that and they have that under control. While I'm talking to that person, I might be able to ask some more questions to that person. There we go. These are the questions related to that person. So what are they responsible for? What do they need to manage, maintain? These are the questions that are related to them. All right, so here we have the 48 most important questions to ask in data governance. Let's do one more. Let's pick a short one. How's that? Short one here. How do you improve the data quality and data governance processes? All right, how do you improve them? Ensure you have staff to own your data. Develop the right tools and processes for the journey. All right, we need to have staff in place and the right tools for that. That rings a bell. Then, if I double click it, it opens up. What should companies do that are just beginning data-driven journeys? Well, the answer should be ensure you have staff to own your data, develop the right tools and processes for this journey. And it comes from master data management and governance. And master data management, MDM, obviously a major topic here in data governance. If I double click it, we'll probably get some more. There we go. There's a lot that's under control of this specific subtopic. There's a lot that's related to this one. All right, so these are the top 48 questions. You can get those questions there in the Kanban, but they're also in the daily mail out that we send out, the LinkedIn mail out, where all these prioritized criteria are in. Do data governance policies and processes make visibility simpler, easier, and more accessible throughout the enterprise? Good question to ask. Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm just clicking another one. Design, evangelize, and implement an enterprise master data and metadata strategy roadmap for active data governance over data assets across all domains and platforms. Is there a linkage between data discoverability and metadata management processes? All right, I'm going to ask that to these people. Workforce capabilities is in play here. Data, main keyword. So the top 48 questions you need to be asking. The other thing I can use the Kanban for, and the data here below, is I can go in and say, I want to see all the questions actually that have the word data governance, the words data governance in them. See, that's what I'm doing here. Looking for everything that has data governance in it, and there you go. All the questions that have data governance in them. So I specifically want to ask data governance questions in my organizations. I can use this in management teams. I can use this in a workshop. I can use this in a course that I'm developing. Do you have sound data governance? Is your IT strategy aligned to the business strategy and governed by an IT data governance steering committee? What is master data governance for material data? What is intelligent data governance? And I can just double click and see what comes up here. What maturity models for data governance are irrelevant in the data economy? Liaison, so that your team partners with analytics, need to have analytics in place, data governance and data quality, and develop an information management framework for that. And these are the people that are responsible, will be responsible for that. So here's an overview of all the questions that are in it and that have the words data governance in it. But if I want to make it a bit easier, I can go like, I only want to see the top 5 questions that are related to data governance. So not the top 5 most important questions, but the top 5 questions that have the words data governance in them. So if I run a workshop, this is what I shall be asking. What maturity models for data governance are irrelevant in the data economy? Is our overarching vision for our organization's approach to data governance well defined? Has a data governance and management process been created that supports value-based care use case management? What are the main focus areas of data governance? And do data governance policies and processes make visibility simpler, easier, and more accessible throughout the enterprise? And these are the people that I will be involving in the workshop as well, and I will be communicating with. So there you have it. If I just want to focus on a specific keyword, I can get the right questions and the right critical capabilities that go with it to ask the right people in my organization. Now, I've shown you the most important things, all the blue balls, but let's just focus on the top 10 of all the big blue balls, the use cases that need to be in place. What are the most important activities that you need to have in place to make sure you have a successful data governance process? So we're limiting it to 10, the use cases, which pulls up the top 10 out of the Kanban. Safeguard that your team partners with the data governance and quality operation teams to identify and define new business terms and key performance indicators relevant to the functional area. Secure your organization partners with the enterprise data governance team to ensure solutions adhere to the data principles. And here we have a balance between business need for data governance, data quality, risk, and cost. Here we're looking into data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and agile, innovative, and responsive needs. And here we are looking at continued delivery of business value. Now, if I just, what I've done before, I can show you with these. If I just open them all up, let's limit it to, let's do 5, otherwise we'll get overwhelmed with data on our screen. So these are the top 5 instead of the top 10. All right, 3, click, click. So I've opened them, not all of them up. I'm missing one. I'm missing you. Yeah, missing you. There we go. So this is, to me, that would be my blueprint to have data governance in place. What I'm looking at right here. These are the top 5 activities that need to be in place, critical capabilities that need to be in place in my organization to have a successful data governance process. And the sub-activities that I'm looking at is we need to have data center transformation, risk appetite and risk tolerance, standard work procedures and processes, have a CMDB tool in place that can handle this. These are the activities, the sub-activities that we're looking at, the sub-processes. Questions I'll be asking: are people assigned to assess and ensure data quality with the scope of each project? Will you use it internally or to pivot quickly between many business partnerships? Do data governance policies and processes make visibility simpler, easier, and more accessible throughout the enterprise? And are applications evaluated for performance? There you go. And all the people involved in data governance. Here's my roadmap to have a successful data governance process in place. Make sure that we have that. As you can see, they're all related to the must-have area, and that's the prioritization. I'm going to show you that a little bit further down the track as well. Another way I can simply pull up the critical capabilities and their questions is, and this is a fun way of looking at it as well. Look what we have here. This is the top. These are the top 10 critical capabilities with the questions aligned to them right here on your screen. And I'm using this as well often in workshops. You can pull this up and go like, okay, I'm just looking at the questions. Do we have an answer like that in place? Is that something that we have in our organization? Is it something that we're looking at? Are we covering all that in relationship to data governance? Are we doing all this? It's a good way of just looking at it, at what needs to be doing from a question-based approach as well. Ask the question, looking for the blue balls, the answer that needs to be in place. So I'll pan over it a bit so you can have a look at it on the replay. Obviously, we're live now, so you can't pause, but it'll all be live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and you can pause and replay there. You can also simply go to the link below and have a play with the Kanban that's in there and see what you can find out of it, what kind of data is useful to you. Although it's already organized, so it's really helpful to just follow the yellow brick road and get it into place. Now, let's start with, let's have a look at the word cloud. Let's have some fun with the word cloud. Yeah, with the subject cloud. As I said, there are related topics there are related topics, and the related topics, these are all the related topics to the main topic. These are all the related topics that we need to have a look at when we're doing data governance, that touch upon data governance, data visualizations, data and analytics governance, Informatica, MDM master, employee experience, operational risk appetite, vendor performance management, continuous learning, as a service ARP, master data governance tools, data retention policies, CMDB tool, data resource management, all important topics that you touch upon when you're doing data governance. So go here, these are the activities that I need to be doing for data retention policies. Make sure these are in place, that we do those. So it's the way of looking at it. We want to do data profiling, guarantee your team is responsible for enterprise data architecture and data governance tools and solutions. So that's another way of looking at it from this perspective, from a perspective of what's adjacent to data governance. What does data governance touch upon? All these topics. Now let's just zoom in on this, pick the five highest prioritized topics: data center transformation, CMDB tool, enterprise data governance, standard work for standardization is really important with data governance, risk appetite and risk tolerance. Standard work, here we go. That's what we need to do. Establish that your workforce understands and can apply key data stewardship and data governance concepts. And I won't read the other ones, but you get the idea. For risk appetite and tolerance, may have data quality assessment in place, do issue resolution around data quality, do data monitoring and control that supports business needs, and the business needs are based on your risk appetite for data management. If you want to do data center transformation, whoa, that's a big one. Obviously, a lot is involved here with digital transformation. I'm going to unclick it because it's overwhelming my screen. Enterprise data governance, and another one, a big one, enterprise data governance, obviously because it's data governance in there. See, this is helpful. These are the five top. I'm going to click on CMDB tool as well because I like CMDB. Configuration management database, people. Who has a CMDB? Raise your hand. I'm raising two hands. I can't live without a CMDB, basically, in one form or another. ServiceNow, for instance, has it very well integrated, and there are many other tools like that. Enterprise data governance, to do MDM well, master data management well. All right. So here we have it, the top 5 related topics to data governance that you definitely will be touching upon when you do data governance well. Now, another one is the word cloud, and I've shown you that one before as well. These are the words that have the highest meaning in data governance. the highest weight. So we have, for instance, policies, people, support, DevOps, improvement, operations, monitor, analytics, processes, all these words. I sometimes pull this up in workshops to just get the juices flowing and get the creative juices flowing. Like, okay, are we doing this? Are we doing that? And then let's click one and go like, okay, let's focus on strategy. Strategy around data governance. Let's pull that up. If we want to do strategy around data governance, these are the things that I need to be focusing on, the critical capabilities for strategy in data governance. Make sure we have these in place. Drive the development and execution of the strategy across the business data governance strategy. Support overall progress of the workforce strategy initiatives. Manage strategy and roadmap development, socialization, and implementation. Develop experience driving product vision, defining go-to-market strategy, and leading design considerations. Manages change scope, strategy, and plans. Double click on that one. What comes up? It's related to data governance. It might have, and it's related to strategy, enterprise data governance. So word clouds, really helpful as well, and I can zoom in to show me only the most important words. Let's do 5 as well here, see what comes up. So here we have the most 5 important words related to data governance. Data, governance obviously as well. Security, process, architecture, and management. These are the most important words that are related. So I can just run a workshop and go, like, oh, let's focus on the security aspect of data governance. Bam, there we go. These are the activities that I need to have in place for security related to data governance. Now, okay, I've got all those. Now, how am I going to do this? Yeah, that's how you're going to do those. If I double click, I have this question in place. And who will be responsible for it? The data and analytics manager. And this way I can just open up each and every critical capability related to this and then show what I need to have in place. See? There you go. And the questions I need to be asking: of whom? For the most important word, security. So I'm only focusing on security here. See, I'm dragging the security ball out. That's the one. That's the one we're focusing on. These are all the activities that need to be in place. I'm not clicking them all because that'll overwhelm the screen again, but you get the idea. See? All the activities that need to be in place. So with the word cloud's great. Word cloud's fantastic. I like word clouds because it's an easy way of just starting out with one topic and going down the rabbit hole, going down the yellow brick road. That's probably why they're yellow here. Going down the yellow brick road and figuring out what needs to be done. Architecture. See what comes up. There we go. Poof. Architecture. See? For data governance, architecture, this is the stuff of goodness that needs to be in place. Now, I've told you that the critical capabilities, they're all organized on priorities based on prioritization. Based on prioritizations. The priorities are 5. There's 5 different priorities. There is the must-have. You gotta have that. You gotta do that. Don't forget about it. Make sure you do that. Then the second one is the should have. The third one is the ought to have. The fourth one is the might have. And the fifth one is the could have, which is, yeah, we'll do that later. The must-haves, you need to have these in place. These are the ones with the highest prioritization that you need to have in place for data governance to make sure that you're doing it right, doing it well. I feel like Daft Punk all of a sudden coming up. These are the 5 highest priorities these are the highest priorities that you need to have in place. So this is the number 1. So if you want to do it well, you just simply go through all the number 1 highest priorities, the must-haves, and you start out with those. You make sure that you cover all of those. And some of them might have overlap, and that's great, that's fantastic, it's easy to tick off. But if they don't, and you discover something new, you'll go, oh, let's figure that out. We need to make sure that we do that as well, and we do it well. Align enterprise data governance with business objectives. That'll be a good one to have. Warrant that your team is responsible, invest in establishing enterprise data governance implementation roadmaps, including strategic priorities for development of information-based capabilities. So much good stuff in here if you want to do data governance well, and make sure that you cover everything. All right, so these are the 5 priorities. The 5 priorities, again, is based on the prioritization is based on artificial intelligence that we developed in house, and it prioritizes all the critical capabilities based on their density, complexity, adjacency, all goodness in natural language processing, and artificial intelligence. The other thing I wanted to show you is, and that you've seen already, is the job roles that are related to data governance. If you want to have a data governance program in place for large organizations, you want to have these people. You need to have these people in place. These roles you need to have in place. You want to have the senior data governance analyst, the director of data governance and strategy, supervisory data management specialist, director of enterprise data governance technology manager, etc., etc. These are the roles that you want to have in place. So in the Kanban, you'll find the roles as well and the questions that you need to be asking these people and their responsibilities, and which are then aligned to the prioritization of the data governance use case, of how important it is to make sure that you do that. Let's just start with let's pick one. Let's go data governance architect. All right. So if I am looking for a job role as data governance architect and I'm going for an interview, I can sort of expect that these questions will be asked of me. Will you be equipped with the right skills? How do new developments address the issues of needed capacity and capability? What are your earlier work experience? What data governance policies will need to be in place for classifying data, defining its relevance, and storing and analyzing? How do emerging technologies fit in the future and current plans? What controls and other data governance issues are supported? Many questions that this data governance architect role will need to manage and will need to take care of. Um, Job roles, great. If I want to find out what the answers are to these topics, to these questions, let's just pick one here. Yep. What controls? I'm going to zoom in so you can read it as well. What controls and other data governance issues are supported? Support risk issue, change request, and defect tracking processes. Make sure that's in place for data governance. MDM and data governance, it's process related. Have a process in place to make sure you do that. There we go. Data governance architect, make sure you do that. Support risk issue, change request, and defect tracking processes by having a process in place for MDM and data governance. I'm going to click this one and poof, there we go. A lot pops up. So there you have it, data governance in its full glory. Lots to do in data governance, lots to organize, but unfortunately the Kanban below, in the link below, go and have a play with it. It has it all organized for you. It makes it a whole lot easier, makes your life a whole lot simpler to make sure that you cover everything from each and every aspect of its critical capability, of its importance, the questions to ask, the job roles you need to have in place, the prioritizations in there. It's all there. Get cracking at it, get started with it. You won't be disappointed. And I'm leaving you today with the full the full cloud of data governance that we started out with. All the activities that are in there, the critical capabilities, the questions, the job roles, the prioritization, the 48 most important questions to ask. It's all here. I thank you for your attention. I had a ball. I had a great time, and looking forward to